The world didn't always run on jobs. For thousands of years, people worked for themselves: farmers, craftsmen, merchants. Life wasn't easy, but it was independent. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Factories needed more than machines. They needed predictable, obedient workers who would show up every day, at the same time, to do the same tasks, for years on end. And so began the shift from self-reliance to labor dependence. Schools redesigned their structure to mimic factories: bells, uniforms, standardized schedules, permission to speak, training people not to think, but to obey. This wasn't an accident, it was a blueprint, a system designed to produce workers, not thinkers. By the late 1800s, the 9-to-5 had become the new normal, not because it was the best way to live, but because it was the best way to organize people for mass production. RISE money, governments, and control. But something else evolved alongside the job system. Governments needed taxes. Banks needed borrowers. Corporations needed labor. And the easiest way to satisfy all three was to keep people dependent on consistent wages. A job gives you just enough to survive, but never enough to be free, and the numbers prove it. Today, 64% of people live paycheck to paycheck regardless of how much they earn. Not because they're irresponsible, but because the system was engineered around rising expenses, rising debt, and stagnant wages. In the 1970s, something critical happened. The link between money and real value was severed. The dollar was no longer backed by gold. From that moment forward, governments could print money endlessly and workers would pay the price through inflation. Your paycheck didn't grow. Your rent did, your bills did, your food did. The system became clear. You work, you pay, you repeat, forever. Breaking point. The trap tightens. By the early 2000s, productivity had skyrocketed, but wages barely moved. People worked harder, longer, faster, but felt more trapped than ever. And here's where the trap becomes genius. You get a job to survive. Then you take loans to live. Then you work to pay off the loans. Then you're forced to keep the job you needed to escape from in the first place. Debt chains you. Bills push you. Fear keeps you obedient. The average worker spends 90,000 hours of their life working, and less than 2% of that time on anything that brings them true joy or freedom. We call it making a living, but most people never actually live. Fallout. What happens when the system fails? You probably know someone who worked for one company for decades, only to lose their job overnight. You probably know someone who worked hard their whole life, and still couldn't retire comfortably. You probably know someone who did everything right: school, job, loyalty, and still ended up struggling. This isn't coincidence, it's design. When you rely on a single source of income, a source controlled by someone else, you're not earning, you're renting your life. And you can be evicted at any time. The 9-to-5 was sold as stability, but it's actually the most unstable way to survive. You're one company decision away from disaster. Failed fixes. Why advice never solves the real problem when the system cracks. What do experts tell you? Budget better, save more money, stop buying coffee. But none of that touches the real issue. You can't save your way out of a system designed to keep you broke. Every decade, the cost of living increases faster than wages. And yet, people are told the problem is their spending habits. It's not. The problem is that a job was never meant to make you free. It was built to make you predictable, manageable, replaceable. Look closely at the world today and you'll see the same pattern repeating. Just on a global scale, governments are in debt. People are in debt. Corporations thrive off the debt. And who pays for it all? Workers. When inflation rises, workers suffer. When housing prices explode, workers suffer. When healthcare costs skyrocket, workers suffer. Meanwhile, those who own assets, businesses, real estate, investments, see their wealth increase with every crisis. This is why the 9-to-5 is no longer just a job. It's a treadmill, and the speed keeps increasing. Shocking data, the reality you weren't meant to see. Here are the numbers almost no one talks about. The average worker loses 54% of their lifetime income to taxes, fees, and inflation. The average person spends 10 times more hours working than with their family. 40% of workers report feeling trapped in their job with no escape plan. Most people don't reach peak freedom until age 63. They reach it at all. This isn't freedom. This is maintenance. A life spent holding everything together instead of building something meaningful. And yet, millions never question it, because they were taught not to. The truth is simple. A job trades time for money. Freedom trades assets for money. When your income depends on your presence, you can never stop working. You can never disconnect. You can never take back your time. And time, not money, is the real currency of life. Until you switch from earning with effort to earning with leverage, the trap stays closed. 3 takeaways. The exit begins here. Takeaway number 1. Your job is not security. Skills are. The only safe career today is one you can take with you. Takeaway number 2. Wealth isn't earned, it's built. Businesses, digital assets, content, investments. These are the systems that free you. Takeaway number 3. Freedom requires one thing: control. Control of your income, control of your time, control of your decisions. The system only works when you don't question it, so question everything. Final warning, if you don't build something of your own, you will spend your entire life building someone else's. The 9-to-5 trap ends the moment you decide your time is worth more than survival. If you're ready to escape the illusion, learn how money really works, and take back control of your life. Subscribe, because the next video will reveal the truth they never wanted you to see.
To learn more about wealth, grammar, and to be successful in your life, subscribe, like, and share my channel, Wealth Grammar. Thanks for watching my video.